shit I like to do. If I like, because I want it to be in my algorithm. Well,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where I can keep, okay, they might have something. Like the brackets thing, the complex brackets.
Yeah.
I was watching it, and then I started liking them. Now the motherfuckers is in my algorithm.
I had to take a bunch of people out of mine, though, because Fresh and Fit was coming through my shit. I'm like, bro, I understand some of this shit, y'all, but I don't fuck with y'all like that, bro.
Oh, you just, yeah, I just...
Don't show me shit from this channel no more.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't fuck with them at all, though.
Me neither.
They like... Yeah, they some lame.
Tell them motherfuckers, oh, I can fuck whoever I want.
That's a real A-rap.
Like, bro, you gonna sit up here and tell a woman you can fuck whoever you want because you got money. I understand you gonna probably do it, but you gonna say it?
Them niggas cross-legged.
Like one girl say, nigga, you ain't start getting pussy till you was 18. That's why the fuck you act like this. And that's true. When you start getting pussy that late, you start acting like that.
I got bored of their content super quick because it's the same thing.
Yep, he say the same arguments, same things to different women. You got a bunch of women off Miami South Beach asking, do y'all want to dress up and get cute? I have like 200,000 followers in my shit. You just come on my thing and just act, just do what you do.
I ain't gonna lie.
They lost me when he was telling bitches, oh, you want to get on my shit, you gotta fuck. Yeah. It's like you can fuck.
Oh, you saying that?
Money. Yeah.
You saying that? Oh.
Yeah.
Most of the women came out and was like, oh, he was like, on the way he reached out to them. He was like, oh, you want to get on the podcast? They're like, yeah. He like, all right, you gotta fuck. I'm like, right.
And he getting into it with bitches, like getting into it, and damn it look like physical altercation. Like, bro, you the host. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
be calm and cool about it. Even if they're ratchet, just like, oh, we gonna go to break, man.
He be trying to too busy check.
And yeah, trying to check him into you on my show. Get out, bitch. Get out. I'm like, bro, for real?
So yeah, we doing some lame ass sucker shit. But I feel like all that shit they kind of fell off since Kevin Samuels died. So they kind of, hate him or love him, but like nobody really has content, because it's like everybody was piggybacking off his shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he ushered in that whole wave.
But you know what it is, though? And that wave right there, what y'all talking about, that genre is flooded with people talking about relationship advice and what men should do, what women should do. That's why I like our shit. Because even though we touch on that, bro, we talk about real shit that's going on in real people's lives, regular people's lives. We don't just stay on we might throw a couple questions in there and talk about that shit, but we don't stay right there.
Yeah.
That's not something that we just we're not going to tell you, oh, we expert in telling you about your relationship. No.
Yeah, man, I don't give a fuck what these hoes do. Because I'm married. You feel me?
I was trying to tell you that. I'm about to get married.
Shit boiled down to it. Like, if I was back on the streets, I wouldn't give a fuck about what these hoes doing. Because I'm going to do me regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah.
Worry about what the hoes doing. Fuck with a real bitch.
Yeah, and it's just like you said. It's different versions of the same thing in a lot of the cases. Like I have my couple that I faithfully follow, I'll faithfully watch, but I mean I only need like two podcasts that talk about the relationship dynamics.
And I think that genre is just getting too flooded with people, and they talking about the same. They ain't even talking about real everyday problems. They just talking about relationship.
No, people love Battle of the Sexes.
Yeah,
so
for the crew season, yeah.
You could talk about that shit all fucking day.
And people always
people like relationship is something that's always gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's always somebody trying to hook up with somebody. It is what it is. That's pretty much the fucking goal of humanity.
Yeah.
So that we can fucking procreate.
Right.
So like when it's a subject like that, people always in and out of relationships, or like married people might go through some shit. Or sometimes, like you said, it is a good spark conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it will forever be a subject. It has always been. It will forever will be.
Yeah, because mine started sending me shit about that. I'm like, we've been talked about that shit. We've been talked about this too. Started sending me clips. I'm like, you can tell you don't watch our shit. Because we've been talking about that shit. And then people right there, because we was talking about that independent conversation. Right? She was talking about, oh, a woman can't be independent. No, bitch, if you in a relationship, you're not fucking independent. You're not, ain't nobody independent. No, you ain't. You can't be in a relationship of independence, bro. And then women always say, I'm a strong black, you a strong functional adult. Get the independence out the way. You stay talking about you an independent woman. No, you do what you're supposed to. You pay bills and you go to work. You take care of your kid. Who else going to take care of that bastard if you didn't take care of him? Like, bro, people be killing me with this talking about some, oh, I'll take care of my son. Who else is going to take care of your kids besides you? You had them. Even if the dad not there, you still have to take care of it. It came out of you.
Yeah. Like they try to get praise for stuff they're supposed to do.
No, you don't. You don't get praise. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I go to work every day because I'm supposed to do that. I paid a light bill the other day, $89. I'm supposed to do that.
Turn some lights off, bro.
Well, I don't know what it is about over there. Them motherfucking man, look here, bro. I'm finna go live in my car.
Sound like you got some illegal shit going on. Somebody downstairs running the goddamn.
Oh no, it's man. Look, bro.
Shit.
You got like a little thing with ComEd out here. Because I was paying like a couple hundred.
What?
By yourself?
Paying like 110, G. And so I had been sending requests for them to come check the wire. I'm like, yo, something is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It's me and another adult that we both work 40 hours a fucking week. Like, there's no way. So they came
Maybe I need to do that shit.
on my back, bro. They done dug up the ground or whatever and changed the wiring. My bill for this month was $30.
Oh yeah, I'm finna talk about our shit too.
Like, hey, no, I need y'all
Back
to
pay.
run all that shit back.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
not paying fucking electric
For a year.
So we all got to go through this dispute process because everybody was paying high ass electric.
Oh, I need to go tell them to do my shit then. Come check my shit too.
Man, and my shit be like max $60. When the winter time, summertime with the AC and shit busting, I still wasn't paying over 100. And I had my shit blazed, like I had that bitch going. I don't like to come home and it's hot in the house, and I gotta.
Hey, y'all been here, it ain't never.
You right.
So I was just chalking it up. Like, all right, it is what it is. I'm like, oh, this shit ain't right, G. Like,
Yeah, I'm finna do the same thing. I'm gonna call them if you do.
I'm here by myself and I'm barely fucking here.
That's a fact, man.
Matter of fact, we gonna go up, and then went up on this shit. Yeah, between that and my gas bill, my gas bill don't be nothing. And we cook too. My gas bill be like $30-something a month.
Shit, in the summertime, that bitch be like $2 on it.
And something, I still probably $25 and $30-something a month. I don't really know. Like people's gas be pretty good. I don't know about Nycor. They be kind of taxing.
Be on bullshit sometimes. I got Nycor.
Yeah, Nycor be kind of taxing.
Hey, all right, I had this question right before we get started, right? Should what you post on social media affect your job or on the internet, period? Just what you put on the internet, period. Should it affect your job?
I'll let you start spaces.
Yeah, the person that asked the question get to go last, remember?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
Okay.
Because you, regardless of whether you like it or not, you're a reflection of what it is that you're associated with.
Okay.
So if I have a certain standard in which if someone works for me and then I see posts about them doing illegal stuff on social media, then that person by default represents my company. Mm-hmm. So no, I yes, absolutely. I think it should be used against you and when it comes to your job, yeah.
Jerry?
So I think it really depends on something being illegal. I think of course it's illegal, but if something is having like an opposing opinion, or you politically you may be going in a different direction, or you even may say something that's controversial or whatever. I think that shouldn't determine whether or not somebody gets fired or whatever. Some type of job discipline. So again, if it's illegal, duh. But just having some type of a difference in a mindset of where the person's company is going, or what they think about, nah, not really, no.
Mm-hmm. Will?
I got no mic.
He doesn't have a mic, yeah.
Yeah, I got no mic. All right, I got no mic.
That mic back there from the corner.
Yeah, he don't want to be on camera. He parking like pimping in this bitch. He parking like pimping. So I go, you hook that up, right? So I say yes and no. And I say no to the degree what Jay Everyday was saying, because just because I disagree with you and I don't go with the public opinion of the company and how the company is being ran and all that stuff, doesn't that mean I'm still not a good employee? You feel me? So like if I say for instance, podcast for sake. If we have an opinion about something on the podcast and somebody comes and say, oh, I don't like what they do when they try to make a fuss, it's like, bro, we just said our opinion. That was just one of our opinions. That don't mean that we still different work or whatever we do like that. But then again, it comes to if you have a power position too and you sway that way real hard. Because you can force your power on somebody at work. Because you a manager or you a senior manager or you something like that. You can no, because I don't like this position and I know you don't, you go the other way. I can make you do certain things that normally I wouldn't make you do or something like that. So
blackmail?
Huh? Not blackmail for saying it's like I don't know how I can put
It's the power of influence.
Yeah, the power because like I think those type of people should like trying to just kind of stay away from that shit. Like because like you got the power. You got the power to do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you got the power. Like it's like we were talking about racism. Like how can a person be racist when he can't stop you really? He can be prejudiced, but he can't stop you from really doing anything because he has no power to stop you from doing anything. In that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just across the board because I don't want to just stop and say, hey, people at the lower end of the totem pole, or I'm saying across the board. If I'm doing a podcast, and it doesn't align with, like I said, the company's values or whatever.
Okay.
I didn't get too egregious or something like, dude, like just relax.
To me, if you ain't saying nothing threatening, harming, trying to harm people,
I was waiting to say
trying
that,
to bigoted, being like talking about you don't like. We're just saying for all the stuff that's been coming up about women or something like that. Like,
I feel like you should be able, at the end of the day, like if I'm not rocking your gear or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? Like otherwise, it's like almost stifling what I gotta say. Yeah. It's like okay, because I work for quote unquote Jewel. Like, oh, I can't say nothing about Walmart, or you know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing about Walgreens. Like to me, I can't just say certain things. Like to me, because people make a mountain out of anything. Anything that you want to say, they can nitpick about something. So like, you could have been as liberal as you wanted to. You could have been, pro everything, and then you got people on the other end of the spectrum be like, oh no, we don't like what you said, and woo. So I'm just saying, like, I think across the board, and it doesn't matter if you I wouldn't say CEO because you probably don't even have the type of time to really be doing no podcast.
Anyway.
But just like if you're in management, that's fine. Maybe your idea or whatever, but to me, this is your own time, your own leisure. Like that's it.
I'm with you on that too, because like when it's your own time, it's like if you're not in your company uniform and you out here doing some stuff. Does that still work against you too? And like that point, like it's like okay, every time I'm away from a job, I'm still I understand you're still representing the job, but if you don't have on a company uniform and you're not saying nothing outrageous and outright or straight hateful or something like that, I feel that it should be okay.
Let me ask you this: so when a cop is off duty, he's still a cop, right? He can still stop crime or appear and arrest somebody if he sees something wrong, right? But he's always representing the police.
He's a civil servant. That's what he signed up to do.
So when it comes to somebody working for somebody else, I guess I tend to think more like if you want to be able to express yourself freely, you need to be able to job that can't fire you, i.e. get your own shit. Like, you sign a policy, you know what I'm saying? Every job now has a social media policy. I feel like debating the morality of it is pointless. It's the policy of the job.
Yes, I agree.
So you read that shit. You need to know everything it's saying that you can or cannot say when working for this company. And with that being said, as an entrepreneur myself, if once my company gets big, I'm going to have a social media policy.
Yeah.
And so, although morally I will want to say yes, freedom of speech. Everybody can say exactly what the fuck you want to say, whatever you want to say it, for the most part, without no repercussions, right? It ain't no hate speech.
Right.
It ain't threatening your job, all that other good stuff. If you want to be the biggest pimp in the world and talk about it and still work for like Coca-Cola or something, you should be able to say that shit. But again, you signed that social media policy. You signed that shit saying that you're working for them and you understand to work for them you have to stay within these confines. Then you have to accept the consequences. I understand this isn't the conversation about accepting it, but yes, I think the company does have the right to tell you what you can and cannot partake on social media.
I think I'll agree. I actually 100% agree with that because I'm thinking about just all these different social media situations that have happened recently, right? Specifically Kyrie, right? What did Kyrie do? I don't know. I don't know what kind of policy he signed. I'm sure there was something. Obviously, I didn't see his contract, but all the stuff all the blowback and all the requirements and all the different stipulations that he has to meet in order to be reinstated, in order to play again. when he didn't specify how he felt about what he retweeted.
Right.
He just posted it. But now he has to go through all of these loopholes, and that in that situation, I think that was not right.
Yeah, no, I agree with the whole Kyrie situation. 100% wrong. When you have other athletes who post whatever the fuck they want, you know what I'm saying? We all know KD got a separate fucking Twitter where he be cussing motherfuckers out and shit.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they all got a fake Twitter.
Oh,
where
right.
They, like a personal one that don't nobody know it's them. But KD is one of the more notorious athletes with his.
But that's the problem, though. I feel like with policy, when people enforce policy, is who they pick and choose, right? So if you're saying something that's against what their values are, they're going to choose to get down on you. Versus if I still had a podcast where I was saying something that aligned with their values, either we're not doing it and that's it, but you don't get to pick and choose.
I mean, this is when being an American citizen comes to handy. Cause now you have a right to sue. Mm-hmm. When you can point out these examples of them accepting it from other people and not from you, get paid. Yeah. Now you start your own shit. Now you finna pay me to start my own shit.
I hear that.
Those lawsuits are 6 figures, easy.
And I hear that, but the thing is, somebody has to work for somebody. And then we can have a whole bunch. We can have a company. We can have a country full of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, everybody can't be.
Everybody
Somebody got to work at McDonald's.
Right. So at the end of the day, I just feel like if it's not too egregious, like just mind as a company, mind your business. Stay over there. If not, nobody's putting you in the spotlight. That's it.
Yeah, I don't agree with watching my account to see everything.
But that's really what people. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's why I got everybody blocked. You know what I'm saying on my shit. You really, you really can't be spying on my, my.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like just keep it, keep work, and whatever somebody else want to do outside their life, that is what it is.
Separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But we say freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
But freedom of speech really ain't free because it do come at a cost. You can say whatever you want to, but it doesn't restrict someone for making you pay for what you said. Because you can say you don't like me. Okay, bet you don't like me, you're an entrepreneur. You won't get my business no more. That's my pay for you. You feel me? For you saying you don't like me or whatever. So you still have to pay for it regardless of your free speech. Free speech ain't really free what people think it is.
Yeah, every action has consequences.
That's what. Yeah, that's the prime example.
Freedom of speech doesn't absolve you from the consequences thereof.
There you go. Uh-huh.
Right. But I just think like what Jay Everyday said. How do I say this? If I'm Jewel, and my Jewel employee says, I can't wait to quit my job so I can work for Walmart, or I hate my job. Now I'm focused on you. Why are you working for me if you hate?
Bro, y'all pay $9 an hour.
That's anything. That's just the example that I use.
What about this example? You work Jewel, you own Jewel, and one of your employees telling everybody, "Oh, this is cheaper in Walmart. Go to Walmart." Is that a problem then?
And you say you got Jewel plastered on your stuff?
Yeah, people know you work for Jewel and you have
It's on your profile.
It's on your profile.
Yeah, right.
That might be a little different. You driving competition away from the company. I think that's a little different. I don't have a problem with people having gripes with corporations and companies that they work for. If they want to speak about it, they speak about it. You don't have to drag the corporation. Just because you have a disagreement or whatever doesn't mean you have to drag that corporation through the mud that you work for. So, yeah, it just, to me, is all that watching and, if you really got people at the job that watches, somebody else's social media to see what they doing so they can report back. That's weird to me, especially if they're an hourly worker. Ain't that working off the clock? Mm-hmm. Huh? Don't do that one.
That's like a prerequisite for a lot of companies. When somebody applies for a job, they look you up on whatever social media to see
that's public
what you're
information.
saying.
It's free. It's on the internet.
Okay, so now this question came from, right? Because I was listening to the Breakfast Club like I always do. It was a thing. A woman got fired, her and her husband. They were 2 teachers. One was a 4th grade teacher, the other one was an 8th grade teacher. They had an OnlyFans page. Right? Yeah, and I noticed a lot different. And it still wasn't just the OnlyFans page. They were making. She say she blocked the whole state of Arizona because that's where she stayed at. She say, I didn't know you could do this neither. She blocks the whole state, but them motherfuckers had sex or did something in the classroom, recorded it, and put it on OnlyFans.
Oh, that's probably it though. You can't come on.
Yeah,
But and then they were saying, and they had a question of like, should they be fired or should? And there was a lot of people like, I think they should be fired because first of all, I don't want my kids knowing that y'all do that and y'all teaching my kids. So now my kids thinking, oh, I can be a teacher and an OnlyFans model. No, the fuck you can't.
Well, not even that. More so like, okay, whose classroom is this? Like, what public school are you using? Like
that you came here to film or whatever
right.
like that. That's true too.
So it's probably the classroom or school that you work at that you guys were doing it off hours or whatever. But still, like, no, that's strange. That's weird.
That's different.
That's not everyday stuff that people are doing. Everybody's not having sex in classrooms with their significant other. Like that's strange.
And then you record it and put it on OnlyFans. But that's what we need to. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, a lot of these influencers and people that put a lot of things on social media, bro, one day that shit is going to come full circle. It's going to, because you're getting a lot of money now, it's going to probably fuck you up in the later end. So you should be careful and mindful of what you be putting on the internet. Because once you put it on there, you can't, I don't give a fuck how much you talking about you scrub and erase. It's there forever.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it can always be found.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
My thing is for the OnlyFans, the teachers, is like, now there's a legal consequence. It's illegal to have sex in X amount of radius of the school. So the lewd act within the premises, you're now could legally be, a predator.
I was about to say, yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too. I know somebody who they was in their car having sex in the radius of the school. And, like, they tried to have them register as a sex offender.
Oh, they tried to.
Well, you got to get a bill lawyer for that, not to get another. I don't know. You got to spend that bread.
He spent a lot of money because the prosecutor was going at that ass. Because they was like, hey, he X amount of radius. Like,
it was
a child could have. No, it was the fucking middle of the night. But the statute does not change. Because
I get it, but it's just like.
No, you're like, come on, G. Like,
this is school. And then,
it was like 11 o'clock at night. Like,
then on top of that, just the thought of people's children coming into the classroom the next day after you've had sex in the classroom.
And that's what happened. The kids found it and was like they saw her having whatever, and that's how it got out. Somebody found it and saw it. But you gotta.
The freaky ass kids.
I know, but you gotta know that that's a possibility when you're doing stuff like that. Like young girls doing this OnlyFans stuff when you grow up, both your parents. How you know your dad won't run across that? How you know your mother won't run across that? Your brother, your sister, somebody you think you hiding it, they run across that and tell your mom or your dad. Now you looking with the the shitty face on now.
Yeah, I think I really think it's like a to each their own whatever kind of a situation when it comes to that, because like in the case of, like I said, Kyrie, I don't think he should. I didn't see anything wrong with what he did. But on the flip side, if he posted something that said, I agree with what's going on, and if in that post he said, I agree with what this documentary is talking about,
yeah, it's different.
Then that's different. That's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, but I think it's a case by case thing, but ultimately, well, yeah, it's just to me, it's just a case by case thing, because
and then everything we think that is right, somebody else can be like, no, I'm offended by it. I'm this, because you say, like you just said, you didn't really think nothing wrong with it, but it was a whole group of people and everybody else jumping on Kyrie and what he said.
Right, but he didn't say anything though. He just posted it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, like I said, now if he said I agree with it, then
it's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story.
And I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But it's just like everybody offends somebody, and then it's like the people that get offended, how much noise can they make for this attention and draw attention to what you said to get you to get you exiled from your job or anything like that. I said, I'm trying to kill him. But to get you exiled from your job or something like that.
Yeah, in that case, to me, that was crazy.
Yeah,
way overkill. But welcome to another episode of the KNoWKi podcast. It's your man, Spaces.
This your boy, Ma.
It's Jay every day.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man.
Great player.
Good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good and great.
Good and great, great and good.
Great and good, awesome, spectacular, all the good words that's underneath the awesome. I said awesome, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
What?
Like he pulled it out early, boy. JJ gonna be like, he pulled it out early.
Nah, man, just you gotta refer back to the notes.
To the notes. Oh, we got some fire we gonna talk about today.
Oh no, you said you had one for
D-Money.
D-Money. I was about to call her JoJo.
D-Money. D-Money said, why is it hard for a man to show affection / emotion? Or why do you think men think showing their emotions is some simp shit?
You want to go first? You want me to go?
You go first.
I knew you was gonna say that. I don't think men think it's hard. It's just that you got to find that right woman that you're gonna open up to like that. You can't open up to every woman like that because they use that shit against you. Like the minute you open it up and you cry, you tell her a secret or whatever, oh, you bitch ass nigga, yeah, that's why you cried when this happened, and then it's like things that you do to, like, it's just things, period. When a woman has something on you, especially like when you're not in a relationship with her and she's mad, it's gonna bring that shit up. Oh, you cried like this. You weren't saying that when I was leaving. You was crying and you didn't want me to leave. Like, it's just like that. So it's like hard for a man to open up because when a man opens up to you and really like pours his heart to you and gives you his all, and he tells you all that, them secrets, if you fuck that up, you're going to fuck that up for a lot of women down the line that he's not going to really trust like that. It's going to take him 10 times more to open up to another woman like that. And it's not no simp shit to open up to your woman or anything like that. It's just that you can't be crying around all the time because you can ask any woman, they want you to cry, they want you to show emotion. But the minute you show emotion, that's a little bit of respect. That's a little bit less respect she's going to have for you because she's going to be looking at you like, why this nigga crying in front of me though?
Oh, you more vulnerable.
Yeah, you're more vulnerable to her. So I'm not saying don't cry in front of you. I'm not never saying that. But I'm saying you're going to have to limit the many times. I'm not going to be like another podcast saying, oh, you never cry in front of your woman. No, this, that, and the third. No, you're going to have sometimes people are going to die. So you're going to be sitting at the front of her like this. No, you're not. You're going to show some emotion about, what's going on. Like you lose a parent, you lose anyone really close to you, you're going to show some emotion and you're going to probably cry. So I'm just saying you can't be crying, like sitting around here just crying everything. Like,
I got a question for you.
Okay, like this one dude say from the Crew Season, Smooth, everybody do not deserve your tears. That go from women to women too. So everybody and everything do not deserve your tears. You need to pick and choose who gets your tears and who is that important to you for you to get your tears.
It's probably not really even relevant to what I'm going to ask you, but when Boys in the Hood, Trey drove a Volkswagen Beetle. Mm-hmm. It was blue, right? Mm-hmm. He was a Crip. Right? So, speaking to, what I'm saying, he got the all. I didn't say you was. I just said you got the all blue on. But
you know how people interminate your stuff. Oh, he was blood the other night because he had on all red with the red hair. Now he got on blue. I like the color. It looked good on my black hair. So
there we go. But anyway, what do you think in Boys in the Hood, it was too early for Trey to cry?
About what?
You remember after he got pulled over by the police, and then he went to what was Neil Long character, but he went over there. He started swinging in the air, crying. Yeah. I think he did get the draws after that. Like she gave, I don't know if that was sympathy pussy or whatever, but because that was the first time I think. But do you think it was too early to cry? Well, that was like perfect, so he can get some of them draws, dog.
But he been fucking with her for a minute though. He just ain't never like hit it or nothing like that. Yeah. They never really went there. But I think he was fucking with her for a long time. And then I look at that probably. That probably wasn't the first time. That probably was the time of many, and he just broke down right then and there.
Yeah.
Because like, men hold on to a lot of stuff, and we build up a lot of stuff. And sometimes it's like, you don't never let it out. And then it just can be the littlest thing. Like, motherfucker cannot appreciate something you're doing, and you've been breaking your back all this fucking time for 6-7 years, and this one time, they show that they didn't appreciate it and you've been doing this all this time, nigga, you might go the fuck off because you've been holding all this stuff in for a long time. And that's not good for you to hold it in, but I understand it. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're right. I understand why you hold it in, and I understand why a lot of men hold shit in. Because you got to be tough. You got to be this dude. You got to provide for your family. You got to, you got to do a whole bunch of other things, a whole bunch of things. So I understand it. Is it right? No. You should probably let some of that shit go, get some of your feelings out. Like we say, you don't have to cry in front of someone, but you can have your safe space to where you let your emotions out, you get them out. Everybody don't have to see you cry or show emotion and all like that, because that's what women want you. Oh, you don't never show your emotion to me. That don't mean I don't show them. I just don't show them in front of you. Right. So,
what you think, Sway?
I think women value stoicism too much.
Stoicism?
Yeah. So.
Break that with that.
Yeah, break that with that. What the fuck is that?
A person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Women love that. Women love stoicism. Women love stoic men. And when it comes to, actually, when I think of women wanting men to show their feelings and their emotions more, the first thing that comes to my mind is, show me that you want your man to be a woman without telling me that you want your man to be a woman.
Oh, that's what you get when they talk about showing their emotions.
Showing emotions, yeah. Because men just showing emotions and being and being emotional is more so a feminine trait than anything, right? And that's feminine traits in most men. Now, notice I say most men. That's something that, first of all, that's not in our nature. Second of all, we're taught to suppress our emotions growing up. Like, I can, like, who was it? I'm thinking, okay, let's just think this. In the movie, granted, this is a fictional movie, but the movie Major Payne, right, is one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. Major Payne was yelling at, what's his name? Orlando Brown? Yeah. He was I forget his name. Tiger. He was yelling at Tiger. Tiger started crying. Major Payne immediately told him, stop that crying. Suppressing his emotions right then and there.
Shit, look at my uncle at my mama's funeral.
Now, what you mean?
Remember what I told you last time? My uncle told me to stop crying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. Mm-hmm. But women just don't like that. Now, I do understand them feeling completely shut out, right? I do understand them feeling completely shut out. I do think with them being with a woman that you're with, being your spouse, your lady, your wife, I do think you should share some stuff. I do think you should. I don't think you should just not tell them anything, not show them that you're going through something. Just brush everything off of your shoulders. But at the number three reason why men can't do it is because the stuff that men go through, women don't understand. Men can only identify with what men go through.
So give us an example of what men go through that women won't be able to understand, just so you can paint a picture for them.
If you ain't got one, I got one.
I had one, but go ahead.
No, you go. It's your question. I just say if you had a brain part or whatever.
No, because this is the first thing that comes to mind, right? Men face harsher sentences than women when it comes to jail time.
Don't do a crime
for the same exact crime.
That's fine. Don't be out here committing crime.
Right. Don't do it. But just the example that popped up in my head.
All right. So something that don't involve criminals.
Okay. Something that don't involve criminal. Okay. So they don't when it comes to them wanting us to protect them, right? Mm-hmm. We are expected to be the first person to get up when it comes to hearing a bump in the night in the house. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand what the mental state that comes with that for a man. Only another man can understand that. Mm-hmm. Only thing they can do is try to, maybe help soothe you and, help you relax you if that situation pops up and then it's over, she can help soothe you through it. But you can only open up to another man because another man identifies better. Mm-hmm. So you had another example?
Yeah, I often say the closure thing. When it comes to like relationships or friendships or whatever like that, closure. Men don't give a fuck about closures. You drew your line in the sand and said, oh, you stop fucking with me? Okay, cool. Women, why you stop fucking me? What I do? This, that, and the third. You gotta tell me a reason. I ain't leaving until you tell me. No, bitch, get out. It's over. I didn't use the bitch word too many times. I don't think whatever. I don't give a fuck anyway. But it's just the closure. It's the closure thing. Like, women want closure. Men don't give a fuck. Like, men will be like, okay, you said it's over? I don't give a fuck what you said it's over. All right, bet it's over. You said it's over, I'm gone. But women want you to sit up there and explain, like I say, show all your emotions, all your feelings, and then if you don't, oh, you really didn't care about me in the first place, because you ain't showing me why we broken up or why we did this or why. Because we just said it's over. What do you need closure for?
That's it.
Yeah. So I think it's closure. What women don't understand what men do. It's like it is what it is.
I mean, even with the concept of being the provider of the household, right? Mm-hmm. Like, in one hand, a man will more likely focus his time on figuring out ways to be able to provide for the household, right? And in order for him to do that, he has to most likely work more hours, right? Mm-hmm. But this is the thing. In one hand, they want you to be the provider of the household, even get them to a point where you can sweep them off their feet and tell them, you know what, I don't need you to work anymore. I need you to be here, which is what their desire is anyway, right? Mm-hmm. They want you to get them to get to a point where, how are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening to you,
I'm like,
He's guilty as hell.
I'm looking at you. I'm sitting behind you, so it kind of feels.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do like this. But when it comes to providing for the household, right? In order for you to, let's just say you work 40 hours, she works 40 hours. And if you get to a point where you can work like 60 hours to supplement both of your incomes, that requires you to be out of the house for at least 60 hours a week. But she will want you to provide for the household, but also want you to be there with her every single night.
It's delusional.
But see, women don't understand that in order for us to get to that point, I have to work this many hours. But she tells what she wants you to do is be two people. They want you to be at work and be at home at the same time. Mm-hmm. Men understand that that's not possible, but women still desire for that to happen.
Yeah, I think they understand that's not possible, but they desire for that to happen.
It's just living in a fantasy land, though, too. Like, women think, oh, you can just have it all, but women think you can just have it all. We can have a white picket fence. You can be home every day. You can work just straight 40 hours. We can live out in Naperville with this $2 million home, all that stuff, and you will still be in the house and we'll enjoy this together. It don't work like that.
I agree. I just think that more so when it comes down to something like that, men need to be, stand on their square. They need to be straightforward and just be direct with their wife. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or their significant other. Be like, hey, I can't, or you can just give an example, right? So you go to all these fancy houses or whatever, if it's Hinsdale, Oak Brook, nobody is ever at home.
Facts. That's a fact.
Nobody is at home. Why? Because they got to afford this mortgage.
That's a fact.
She ain't at home either, right? They both trying to afford this mortgage, this $1 million house, a $750,000 house. Nobody's at home like that.
That's a fact.
Right? The only people that's really at home is people who have children, people who work the regular 40 hours a week or whatever. You're kind of struggling. Yeah. It's the only ones that's really at home like that.
Yeah.
In regards to men showing emotion, I think, the only emotion that we're kind of focusing on is that, niggas should be out here crying, right? Men show emotion all the time. Most of the time it might be anger. That's the emotion, and that's not the emotion that you're looking for. You know what I mean? But as far as just dudes just always crying, that's some wimpy shit. We're not really built like that. Only time I would cry is if I had too much to drink. I ain't gonna hold you, boy. I cried about 2 weeks ago. Boy, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's your second one? Then you can't cry no more.
You got
another month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got another month. You better not hope, boy. Nobody do nothing wrong because you out. You out on it.
I was out the game. I ain't gonna lie.
You out, B.
But I'm one of those people, man. A lot of people don't know what I go through, and I wouldn't tell you social media people shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Granted, we ask each other, we good. Y'all social media, fuck you gonna do? So. But I personally have a lot of stuff, that I just be holding on to. So, a drink, and then when you have too many, you hit the whole fifth by yourself. That room starts spinning. You start thinking.
I'm so busy.
Yeah. I talk about, girl, I love you.
No matter what you do. It was some other shit. Well, my wife had to come to the bathroom. She say, let it all out. She told me, pat me on my back, let it all out. And I'm sad because I'm like, I'm crying in front of her. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but that's your wife. She ain't going nowhere.
Right, and that's my wife. You know, that's what you have those situations. And but just I think the emotion that I'm thinking women want is more times that men are out here crying. You know, and I think people show other kind of emotions. You know, men show other kind of emotions other than just crying.
But then you always notice it too, because I just clicked onto this. It's always girlfriends talking about men not showing emotions. Mm-hmm. That's hell for wives. Because when you're a wife, it's like that's a different level. Even though we've been together for a long time, yeah. Bro, when you get a wife or something, bro, motherfucker kill you over their wife and don't mind going to fucking jail. Like, for real, like...
Don't mess with nobody's wife.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dudes will really kill you and sit and smile in their mugshot and be on a thing to my, yeah, this nigga fuck with my wife and I had to go ahead and off him. Like, that's what I was telling people, bro. If I get married, bro, like, if you play with mine now, it's going to be some consequence. But, bro, if I get papers on it, that's my property. You fuck with my property.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, we discussed this too. Dog, people can go ahead and get mad at me all they want to.
We hold that type of conversation off the show type.
Like, bro, people get mad at me all they want to because you're her property, she's your property. Y'all got papers on each other. Y'all got papers on each other.
No, I got the papers. I got the papers.
Bro, you get a divorce, you're gonna have to pay. That's property.
That's when that's when you are her property.
Yeah, so which one is it? You gonna have to pay. So it sounds like you her property.
Yeah, but you gonna have to pay each other. Y'all each other's. That's how I look. I'm not gonna sit there and say one way and not the other. I'm gonna look at both of y'all when y'all sign the papers and get married. Y'all are each other's property.
I've never heard somebody say I own that and they own that. We
own each other. Nigga, we own each other.
That's new. That's a new concept. I want to see how that works.
It doesn't because men get destroyed upon divorce.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't no. It's one sided.
But look, man, we gotta give them something.
Give them something that actually works.
I'm gonna just say that because it sounds crazy when you talk about you own somebody. It's like almost like slavery. So that's why I say I don't just say it one way. I say it both ways.
So let me also answer that. I don't think men think being emotional around women is some simple sucker shit. I think more so the simp word has kind of been overused and people don't really know like what they're using it for. Simping is like really just to put it plain and it's paying for pussy. That's you know what I mean, and doing whatever you got to do to
in hopes of getting
it. But more time you probably attain it. But you're paying for it. You're doing everything that you can to get that.
And those are the kind of men that don't get respected by. A lot of times they don't get the woman that they're being a simp for.
Right.
Like she'll go and talk to you. She'll go and talk to the simp about the man that she really wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So simps they don't like men to be emotional because if you want a man that shows emotions a lot, find you a simp. There's plenty of them out here.
But women sit up there and say they want a man to show emotion. But the minute you start crying over them, they're gonna be like, nigga, that's enough.
Because it's a feminine thing.
Yeah, you study crying everything. Oh, I ain't cooked the dinner you want. Nigga, what the fuck are you crying for?
Yeah.
Oh, the bill a little bit late, or I ain't get the hours I wanted for my job, or I ain't get this, or I ain't get that, and you crying over it. It's just any and everything. No, that's why I say it's reserved for if you're married and everybody do not deserve your tears. They go both ways, men and women. Yeah. Stop all this fucking crying. Because everybody do not deserve tears. Everybody do not get tears. That's reserved for people you love.
Yeah, and it's like being emotional. And when I say emotional, I'm thinking like sadness. I'm thinking like love. I'm thinking tears. You know what I mean? I think, and you had a very, very valid point with emotion. The only aspect of emotion we're talking about is crying.
And I'll say that too, yeah. You did better.
That's just what I hear when I hear a woman wanting their man to be more emotional. Mm-hmm. Because they don't, and see, this is why why men aren't as open emotionally to women, because they don't understand that they are asking for their man to be more like a woman when they're not attracted to women. Yeah. That's why Dr. Tia-San Johnson, when he starts up his videos, he says this is where the men come to take off their armor.
Oh yeah, that's Thinking Man Step on TMT.
That's Dr. T.
No.
I'm sorry, never mind.
But that's TMT, Thinking Man's Templar.
Thinking Man's Templar. Okay, cool. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, that's what like men, and even when it comes to expressing emotions to men, even then men don't cry, right? Mm-hmm. Even then, like you talk about it and you talk with the people in anticipation of with the expectation of helping, at least explaining how you feel about how the situation is going, and even getting guidance in the process.
Yeah.
But ain't happiness an emotion too?
Absolutely.
Happiness,
absolutely.
But so they don't say about that emotion. We showing emotion in because we always happy.
See, I think they want not they, but women in general, they want those type of sad and crying emotions because it's a way that they can manipulate you, And so, like you said earlier, if you've been doing all this crying and you've been spilling all your guts and stuff to this woman, now she has all this information, and then when you might have did something that
she's gonna bring that shit back.
She's gonna bring
especially
it right back
not especially one that's not down for you.
Right.
Women asking people to be emotional when we just fucking. How am I to be emotional attached to you when we just fucking? It ain't like we go chill. It ain't like we have conversations. It ain't like we sit up here and we could just sit up here and be in the presence of each other. Mm. But we still kind of connected just because we in the same house. Yeah. Like, they don't have that. They just around here just fucking people and not getting that connection with people. And that's why you don't get those emotions out of people. Because if a dude really fucks with you and he sees you the one and you proving yourself that you are the one, he going to show emotion to you. He going to get mad. He going to get sad. A tear might come out. He might get real sad and tell you what's really on his heart. It might don't be as often as you want, but you will get those times. Because I can understand you. You probably been with your wife a whole bunch of times. But you don't really go to her like that unless it's something that's, okay, this is enough now.
Yeah, I didn't even go to her. I was in the bathroom.
No, I'm just talking about
she came to you.
She came to me. It
I'm
was
talking
like
about just a situation.
I'm just crying.
I'm just talking about situations to where, like, shit might have happened. You're like, okay, that ain't nothing. Okay, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
But then when it started building up, you're like, okay, now I need to show some emotion. So, like, this shit is really bothering me. And I need to tell you about it.
Yeah, I mean, just... Like me, have I ever just went out and started talking to my wife and we were just talking about, things or whatever and just start crying? Nah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not like that. Like I'm talking, we have, it wasn't like that. Only time that you probably catch me crying is, like I said, if I was drinking and I'm in my own thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she happens to be there.
Okay.
And then I'll talk to her like that. But if we just having a face-to-face conversation, It's not going to be, I'm crying.
Yeah. But like I say, man, people in general, reserve your tears for people who they matter to. Like, when you reserve your tears, everybody do not deserve your tears. And that's a fact. They do not deserve your tears.
You got anything else for that?
That was pretty good, though. The first two conversations were pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to D Money. You want to give us something else next week, man? We're rolling out D Money shit.
Hey, come here, y'all. Hey, Space is gone. Don't tell him I did this shit neither, man. Cause you know how he get. Like, nigga don't like me cussing, don't like me saying all that shit. He don't like none of that shit. The nigga going to church anyway, man. Tell that nigga to pray for me too. You feel me? While you there. But man, this conversation was going a little bit too long. So we had to break it up. But y'all come back for part 2 of the KNoWKi podcast, man. Thank y'all for listening. Meeting adjourned.